Yo, what is up YouTube? James Baek here, and welcome back to another episode of VGC 2018 Baek Battles. It is time once again. Mega Camerupt, we are using it again with Gothitelle, Amoonguss, Scrafty, Tapu Koko, and Mimikyu. And yeah, it's been a very fun team to use. I did mention before that this was the team I was actually originally going to bring to the series as the first team, but ended up using the Apollyon team as we find Kaga from Japan with Perish Trap once again. Okay. So it's Mega Gengar. Follow me redirection with Clefairy. You got the Politoed with Perish Song. You got the maybe eject button Scrafty. I could definitely see it being eject button. Maybe Assault Vest. I would imagine it'd be eject button. The Gothitelle and the Marowak with Lightning Rod. So this is gonna be pretty interesting. Again, my team doesn't do bad against Perish Song at all, and in fact, Tapu Koko, Mimikyu, Gothitelle, Camerupt, let's go. Let's go. So what I'm gonna want to do turn one, I guess, is taunt the Clefairy. The problem is I don't know if Gigavolt Havoc can knock out the Gengar after a after the friend guard. Because of the friend guard, it could be a bit problematic. Turn one, I'll probably want to Gleam for that chip damage onto the Gengar and taunt the Clefairy if it is going to be that kind of lead here. I wonder if my opponent expects physical or special Mimikyu. I would assume physical most likely because I only have one physical attacker otherwise. So we could see Scrafty as a lead here. We'll see what's going to come out here though. Again, I don't feel bad about my position. I could always Volt Switch around. I have Mimikyu as a Ghost type so I could switch. Gothitelle with Shadow Attack and trap my opponent as well. So, not too bad here as I'm going to leave my Tapu Koko Mimikyu here. Let's see if we did play a Perish Trap team a bit ago. I think a few episodes ago. So let's see if I still have it. So Clefairy plus Gengar is going to be on the field. Again, I really doubt they carry Sludge Bomb. They should just run Shadow Ball for like Aegis Slash. Substitute slash disable, Perish Song Protect. Just going to go for the Gleam here. And a taunt into the Clefairy. Because I want to prevent the follow me. I really don't think you have Sludge Bomb. If you do, interesting tech on this Perish Trap team. I mean, I guess not really a tech, it's common on Mega Gengar, but really on a Perish Trap team, I wouldn't assume like a person would run Sludge Bomb. Just because, you know, you want to have that coverage for denying like your opponent from knocking the Gengar out. So follow me is going to come out. Maybe just Shadow Ball coming out from the Gengar, which is definitely potential. As Dazzling Gleam does come out, weaken the Gengar just by a bit. That did nothing. Perish Song's gonna come out, which is fine. And I do taunt the Clefairy, so taunting will prevent it from being able to do anything. Nice. And I guess right here I'll go for Gleam because it catches the Scrafty on the switch. Yeah, I'm gonna taunt. I'm gonna Gleam here again. And I'm actually going to taunt the Scrafty slot because I can see eject button coming out. It might be able to live the Gleam. Then Clefairy could switch and get to follow me. So I'm just going to try to prevent like any momentum my opponent could get from that kind of play. I'm still surprised that my opponent just went straight for the Perish Song, knowing I can switch with Mimikyu and maybe the Tapu Koko. But maybe not expecting the Volt Switch, although Volt Switch has been kind of more rare lately. Just because of the fact... Oh, wow. Okay, Gothitelle comes out, which is fine. And protect from Gengar? No, just attacking. Oh, wow. Okay. So I get a Gleam off, which, you know, does a bit of chip. Disable. Okay, that's in there. I think my opponent maybe... I don't know. Okay. That's fine. Taunt. Into the Gothitelle. Mental Herb. Okay. No, leftovers. Okay. These sets are kind of driving me crazy. Don't really want to waste my Z move. I think I want to Volt Switch, if anything, the Gengar slot, and just get some damage off, to be honest. I'll Volt Switch Shadow Claw right here, because I could always switch the following turn, so nothing really too problematic here. Let's see what's going to be coming out from my opponent. or my opponent stays in, it's going to be the switch out from the Gothitelle and the Clefairy, okay, and maybe Gengar protects this turn, or maybe just going to go on the offense with a Shadow Ball, as Gengar's just going to protect, okay. So I get a bit of damage off, which is not bad, because my opponent has not got any single damage off onto me, and Gengar has to switch out here, like, it really has to switch out here, otherwise my opponent's in a bad position. Shadow Claw does some good damage here. As I'm going to go for a Volt Switch into the Gengar and switch out my Mimikyu, go on to Gothitelle. This allows me to continue to be able to keep this switch momentum going. Like, my opponent really just can't really do anything right now. You're forced to switch to Gengar, you lose the Gengar here. And yeah, if you go for a double protect and you get it, I guess we both lose a Mon here. But I think you have to switch out right here if you're my opponent, because you cannot allow your Gengar to go down. Gengar is probably the one with the most offensive pressure. Clefairy most likely not having a move that could really do much against me. Maybe Icy Wind if it's a support Mon. But otherwise, yeah, I don't really see it being able to do much. And I get to switch out. So yeah, Gengar's going to withdraw here. It's going to be into Gothitelle. And if people don't know, Ghost types are immune to Shadow Attack. So you can switch out with Ghost types. So Gothitelle going to be coming out. We're going to be able to get my Gothitelle in, as I'm going to be able to Volt Switch as Spotlight going to come out into the Gothitelle. So guarantee me targeting down the Gothitelle, which is fine because I targeted that slot anyway, but in case I decide to go for the Clefairy. But that Volt Switch did pitiful damage right there. As I'll be able to get in my Mimikyu here. I mean, my Mimikyu here. And yeah, basically my opponent took a bunch of damage and I haven't taken any. So this is great. Or taken any. Excuse my bad English, but right here, a lot of switching going on. As I'm going to taunt the Clefairy, feeling like it would attack here and Side Shock the Gothitelle, because I could see, well, actually, I don't see Gothitelle switching out, which was something I was considering there. But either way, if I get the taunt Clefairy, I prevent it from going for anything, as Clefairy actually protects. Okay. So I wonder if this Gothitelle actually has a move that can target me, which would be interesting here, as I am going to get a bit of chip, negate that leftovers recovery, which is okay. But I can't let my opponent pick up knockouts, which is problematic. Yeah, my opponent reveals the Side Shock. Okay, so my opponent does have, like, a way to handle me. So Side Shocks hurts a lot, actually, because Side Shock will probably be a 2 KO compared to Psychic, which might have been a 3 KO, because Mimikyu's special defense is pretty good, but its physical defense is pretty poor. So yeah, I'm probably going to be able to get a Never Ending Nightmare off. I can go for it now. Into Clefairy, and I'll just go for a Helping Hand here. Yeah, I'm just going to go for it. Clefairy, follow me. I can't really see much. It's Spotlight. We've seen Spotlight. We've seen Follow Me, Protect. Goes for Spotlight in the Gothitelle. So I get the knockout on Gothitelle, which I do not mind. I'll take that. So I'll be probably expecting the taunt, which I could definitely see, but right here I'm going to go for damage. I want to pick up a knockout because it prevents my opponent from really switching around too much. So right here I'll go for the Never Ending Nightmare, and this will be able to pick up a knockout potentially on, well, it should knock out the Gothitelle. I mean, physical, animate, max attack, Never Ending Nightmare against the Gothitelle. Going to be able to pick up that knockout with the Helping Hand boost. So Gothitelle does go down here, and now Gengar's still a bit of a problem. Gengar does come out. I'm going to go out into my Camerupt right here. And Trick Room up with my Pokemon. Because I feel like if anything, you're going to Shadow Ball to Mimikyu. Since you probably do carry it. So I'll go into Camerupt right here, which can get me some momentum. By taking the Shadow Ball. As Follow Me is going to come out to avoid the Side Shock, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be that Shadow Ball. Yep. And I don't want to lose Mimikyu yet because I want the ability to switch in. Shadow Ball does a lot to Camerupt. It gets a special defense drop too, which is kind of unfortunate. But Trick Room will be set up. So something good to note. And Helping Hand Earth Power is going to be able to do a lot of damage no matter what. Yeah, I'll just help hand Earth Power the Gengar, because Clefairy can't do anything to me. Unless maybe Gary's like, I would assume would be after you as the last move, so it can't really do too much at this point, or maybe Heal Pulse, but it can't really do much otherwise, and then, like, even if Politoed switches in, which I could see Politoed switching out for Clefairy, expecting the Heat Wave, maybe helping hand Heat Wave my opponent expects, so no switch outs, okay. So maybe no Politoed in the back, potentially? Oh wait, you can't switch out Clefairy. Right, you can't switch out Clefairy. So I'll go for Helping Hand here. I target down the Gengar because that's the only Pokemon that can knock out the Camerupt. So no Protects, no Follow Me's either. So Gengar goes straight down, and that's my opponent's last Shadow Tag user. So Parasong is out of the picture. Encore. The Gothitelle, which is fine. And now Mimikyu's pretty worthless in this game, so I can definitely sack the Mimikyu here. Politoed's going to reveal itself. Best possible outcome. Maybe Nature's Power here. I'm going to Nature's Power to Politoed. I'm going to attempt to try to pick up the knockout and go into Koko. Because I can see Clefairy maybe not wanting to take it. Maybe goes for a redirection, but that's fine because I'm pretty sure Nature's Power might be able to pick up the knockout on Clefairy. And Tapu Koko. Going to be able to reset my Gothitel's ability to attack, especially with Helping Hand and Side Shock. So let us see what's coming out. Clefairy's going to protect here, kind of expected. And I'm pretty sure Politoed's going to go for an attack. So I get Nature's Power off, and it will be that Thunderbolt. And it will be able to hit the Politoed for a good amount of damage. Yep, about 90% because of the Friend Guard. The berry is going to activate, which is going to be a Citrus Berry, it looks like. And Scald's going to come out, target down my Camerupt, which is going to be able to pick up the knockout, but otherwise, yeah, not too big of a surprise there. As I'll be able to go out into my Gothitelle here and just Trick Room up. I'll go Gothitelle, and yeah, I'm sitting on my leg right now, on my chair, which is ironic, and it kind of started falling asleep, so I had to make that move. Yeah, I just Trick Room here and Protect. We haven't seen a Z move from my opponent's team either, and none of his Pokemon can hold the Z move right now. Clefairy's the Violite, and Politoed was the Citrus Berry, so yeah, can't really do too much right here. Protect Politoed, I mean Tapu Koko, because I can't risk a Scald coming out. We're gonna see the Follow Me come out, and Scald probably in the Tapu Koko. Yep. As I do reverse Trick Room, so now Tapu Koko will be the fastest thing on the field, and I can Volt Switch out to prevent my Tapu Koko from risking a crit or something, and I can just Side Shock the Clefairy, because even if Politoed protects, Clefairy can't do much. So yeah, the match is going to be forfeit. My opponent really didn't have any tools at that point that could help him seal up the game. Tapu Koko was just able to Volt Switch around and just able to probably either pick up a lot of damage or just pick up knockouts, especially on that Politoed. So yeah, I feel like my team just has a really good matchup against Perish Trap apparently, which is kind of awkward because that's not how I imagined it working. But Shadow Tag again being such a good ability. If I didn't have Shadow Tag, if I didn't have a Ghost type and I didn't have Volt Switch, it would be much harder to deal with that. But yeah, having moves that are able to bring momentum or abilities to prevent your opponent from gaining momentum are amazing, like Volt Switch, like Shadow Tag, and like having a Ghost type for the opposing Shadow Tag, which works. So gonna be able to pick up a win, and we'll see if we're gonna be able to pick up the next one. Yeah, I actually really like this team's matchup against Perish Trap. There isn't really much my opponent can do. I think the flaw in my opponent was going for the Perish Song right away when I had Mimikyu and I had Tapu Koko. I'm assuming maybe my opponent thought I didn't have Volt Switch on the Tapu Koko because I didn't go for it right away. But yeah, like worst case is like I'm trying to hide it and then he double protects. But either way, I'm going to be able to Volt Switch sooner or later. And if I really have to, I'll Volt Switch my own Mimikyu slot just to get in a free switch. So it's not too big of a deal. As we find our next opponent, with the team of Blacephalon, the Kartana, Tapu Fini, Metagross, Landis Variant, and Tapu Lele. So this is a really, really interesting team. I don't like the matchup. I really don't like the matchup. I don't like the matchup at all. Help. So Tapu Koko, Scrafty, Gothitelle, Camerupt. Those are the 4 I'm looking at. The problem is, what are the items? If it's Scarf Tapu Lele, that can be annoying because of its fast, it can have some fast damage output. If it's Taunt on Tapu Lele, that could really be a problem. If it's Ghostium Z on the Blacephalon, threatens a lot of damage. Like, there's so many things that are just not really in my favor. I can't bring Amoonguss because Amoonguss really doesn't do much in this game. It'll Rage Powder but then go down. And I feel like I'm going to need other mons to take down some of my opponent's answers. Mimikyu could have been helpful, but I don't really see Mimikyu doing too much. Yeah, like, this is a really tough matchup. I honestly am not expecting much, but we'll see. Expecting much of this team to do against this team, because I guess it's really going to come down to like what kind of sets my opponent has or what kind of Pokemon my opponent bring. Blacephalon is just threatening my Gothitelle immensely, so yeah, Blacephalon Kartana is going to come out and lead the field. So it begins. The scary Pokemon rage begins. So I am going to be able to get the Electric Surge up. Ghostium to Protect is going to hurt. I also don't know if any of these Pokemon could be Scarf. They both could be. I think I want to go for Volt Switch into Blacephalon and go into Scrafty, because if it is Ghostium, you Ghostium the Gothitelle turn 1. And I get Intimidated onto Kartana, which in case it is Scarf Kartana, like, Koko will be able to take the Leaf Blade better, and I need Koko in this game so I can get the Nature's Power onto Tapu Fini. Like, there's so many factors that I need right now in this game, and it's going to be so hard to even execute them. So let's see if I do get the prediction right of a Ghostium Z potentially coming out. Could potentially be Tompus Blacephalon. That Pokemon, hard to announce. So we're going to go in the Scrafty here, get the Intimidate off. We also get Fake Out Pressure for later. If the other play I could have made was protect my Gothitelle and Volt Switch out in the Scrafty, but I feel like this play covers more bases, as there's not going to be a... Okay, so Tapu Koko is faster than Blacephalon. Get a lot of damage off, which is really nice. Gonna go into Gothitelle here. Let's see. It could be a double up into Scrafty too if it's not Z-move on the Blacephalon. Leaf Blade gonna come out into the Tapu Koko slot. That still does a lot. It is Z-move, okay. Fire Emblem or Ghostium? It is Ghostium, okay. So I do anticipate one thing correctly. And it is the Ghostium with the AV on my Scrafty. This should have, yeah, it is targeting down the Scrafty, which was the Gothitelle. So this is gonna do a lot of damage. Yeah, that still did a lot, to be honest. At least in this case, okay, now it's a mind game. Do you target down the Scrafty? That probably fakes out the Kartana, or do you go for the Gothitelle? I feel like you would go for the Gothitelle. I think Shadow Ball would still pick up the knockout onto Gothitelle, so you know what? Gonna go for Snarl right here and protect Gothitelle and hope this works out, because this probably won't. I could have also faked out the Kartana and maybe went into Koko, which might have also been a good play here because I am risking Scrafty. But then again, like, if this play doesn't work out, and let's say Scrafty gets double targeted by a fire type move and a move from Kartana, I could go into Koko, Volt Switch to Blacephalon out into my Camerupt and Trick Room. So either way, like, doesn't seem too bad no matter what option I pick. So let's see what my opponent decides to do, as I will protect my Gothitelle here. And do you double up the Gothitelle, or do you target down the Scrafty? Leaf Blade gonna go into the Gothitelle, and the Shadow Ball into Gothitelle as well. Excellent. And I get Snarl off. Does connect with both, so one, I get to break a potential Kartana's Focus Sash while also knocking out the Blacephalon. Special attack drop shouldn't really matter on Kartana unless it has some kind of tech move. Okay, it makes my hair look messed up, but it's actually the Charizard poster in the background. Tapu Lele is gonna come out. Oh, that's a problem. Ooh, that's a scary Pokemon to deal with. I wonder if it's Scarf or not. We get to find out this turn, but if it's Scarf, Moonblast can knock out Scrafty, but unless it's Z-move, well, it's not Z-move Kartana because we already revealed the Z-move on Blacephalon. So It's gonna knock out the Tapu Lele and Trick Room here. Shadow Ball, okay. So that's gonna target on Gothitelle. Are you Specs? Nope. And that's gonna pop my berries, so I do not mind. And you are Scarf Tapu Lele. We do confirm that now, which is nice because I am gonna be able to get a knockoff into the Tapu Lele. And nice, no crit, so no Trick Room. Gonna be here. We're gonna get the knockoff into the Tapu Lele. And I can go for a knockoff and a side shock into the Tapu Lele, and that will be able to pick up the knockout. And most likely Tapu Lele doesn't carry the protect here, so I should be guaranteed a knockout here onto the Tapu Lele slot with the side shock plus knockoff. And then the match is actually going to be forfeited. Wow. So wasn't expecting the forfeit, to be honest. I was not expecting the forfeit, but I guess my opponent must have had Metagross in the back then. It's like, oh, my opponent got Trick Room up. I can't protect with my Tapu Lele. It's most likely going down this turn. And then I have Kartana and Metagross against the Camerupt. And Camerupt could probably just fire off Earth Power safely to win the game. So I don't have a good chance of winning at all. But yeah, so that's going to be a good game to my opponent. Able to clutch it out. Nice. Able to clutch it out, which is really, really nice. So Camerupt putting his team on the back. Although, again, it didn't really come out, which is unfortunate because I would really love it to come out and do some work. I would really love it for Camerupt to come out, play, do some work. But, yeah. We're going to get one more, I guess. I honestly was expecting... That was a really long first battle and a really short second battle. But I don't mind that. I don't mind if we keep getting wins. So we got a Japanese player for our last opponent. This is going to be so threatening. Pheromosa, Tapu Lele, Charizard, Landers, Farian, the Cresselia, and Kommo-o. This is definitely a scary team. But at least in the cases, I do have a very, very powerful Camerupt that if my opponent decides to give me the Sun, I'm going to be able to get massive damage off. I could probably just get Trick Room up with my Mimikyu. It depends on sets though. Like, I don't know where the Z move is. Is it Pheromosa? I would assume it's Pheromosa. I would imagine Scarf Seeder on the Lele or Landorus, and maybe it's AV Landorus. I wonder what the Kommo-o. Like, Kommo-o's been pretty popular, but I don't see this as being the Z move Kommo-o at all. Gothitelle plus Amoonguss is probably my safest call here, because it just guarantees Trick Room up. Yeah. Safest play. Camerupt. And I think I want to go Tapu Koko. Mimikyu's also pretty solid, not gonna lie. I think I like Tapu Koko though, because getting rid of that electric terrain from Tapu Lele, because I can't knock out Tapu Lele in one hit, and Tapu Lele is like threatening a very powerful Psychic off in the Camerupt, which could be really bad. So I think that's the play that I want to go for. Oh man, this is gonna be one scary matchup, that's for sure. Let's see what my opponent's got though. It's going to be the Tapu Lele Kommo-o as the lead against my Gothitelle Amoonguss. Okay, so what's interesting to note is Kommo-o does get the ability Overcoat, potentially. We did talk about this the last time we saw Kommo-o, so it could be the Overcoat ability, which prevents Powder and Spore moves from working against Kommo-o. Could just Trick Room up, which is definitely what I want to do, and I do want to go for... I wonder if I want to just go for the Spore right into the Tapu Lele? Or Rage Powder. Because even if Tapu Lele taunts, which is the only way it can stop my Gothitelle, I'm going to Spore actually. Because yeah, even if you taunt like my Gothitelle, like I get Spore off into... Oh, what is this? Devastating Drake? Oh, this is signature Z move, isn't it? Oh, we get to see it. Oh, that's cool. I hope this isn't copyrighted, otherwise I'm gonna have to edit it later. Clangorous Soul Blaze. So this is a spread dragon type move. That's gonna give this Kommo-o +1. I don't remember if it does it before or after. That did nothing. That honestly didn't do much at all. Kind of disappointed. I wonder if it's soundproof or if it is overcoat. I can't tell. Spore into the top of lane. Maybe I should have just Rage Powdered. But then again, Amoonguss would have been a sitting duck, and I would have to be threatened by the Tapu Lele and the Kommo-o. This way, I'm only threatened by the Kommo-o, but still, it's not really looking that great here. Although I could just Psyshock the Kommo-o, I guess, and switch out Amoonguss into my Tapu Koko. Get rid of this terrain. And yeah, it doesn't look like it's Scarf Tapu Lele, so at least that's something to confirm. I don't really need Tapu Koko for this game. If I weaken the Charizard on my opponent's side. Ooh. Can't believe we're seeing Zizimu Kommo-o right now. Was expecting it to maybe be like Specs or something, to be honest. But yeah. That means either Pheromosa, maybe Pheromosa's Focus Sash instead. So Amoonguss is gonna switch out. It's useful for later to redirect. Gonna bring out Tapu Koko. But what does this Kommo-o have? Clanger's Scales is special, if I believe, so we'll see what it has. Tapu Lele gonna be asleep. Of course I do weaken my Psyshock's power, I do note that. Oh, Flamethrower into Tapu Koko, that's not good. That didn't do much, actually. Psyshock into the Kommo-o. Doesn't really do much. Psyshock would have been a 2 KO with it, but still. Okay, now the question is, do I want to make an aggressive read? What I could do is just predict Kommo-o to expect my Tapu Koko to protect, so I could Gleam here. I actually think I want to do that. Because even if I lose Tapu Koko, I get a free switch in. So how many turns of Taunt? This is the last turn of Taunt for Baek, so I could Rage Power the following turn, except Trick Room, and then hope maybe my Camerupt can sweep. I don't know, it's still not looking too great for me, but we'll see here. Especially since I think my opponent knows I could switch into Camerupt on a Flamethrower pretty easily. So I feel like you might want to go for Clanging Scales here. Of course, you might decide not to. That's definitely a possibility. However, yeah, I gotta make some risky plays if I want to get back in this game. I'm fasting Kommo-o. I was anticipating. And I barely missed a knockout. Okay. So Flamethrower gonna go out into the Tapu Koko. Let's see if Tapu Lele wakes up. Wow, I can't believe I almost... Okay. Tapu Lele stays asleep there as I do get a Psyshock off into the Kommo-o, which will pick up the knockout there. Nice. So Kommo-o goes down, and I get to go out into Amoonguss, I feel like. I go into Amoonguss here. The reason I go into Amoonguss here is because if Tapu Lele does wake up, I feel like this would be Timid Tapu Lele. Usually Timid Tapu Lele is carry Taunt. So I feel like it might be faster than a Charizard here. So if it is faster, it's such a mind game right here. But if not, I could also hope that Tapu Lele takes another turn of sleep and like Charizard maybe goes for something like Overheat into Amoonguss. Like the problem is if my opponent goes for Overheat in Amoonguss and goes for Taunt into Baek, and the Tapu Lele is actually slower than the Zard. Like, yeah, I think that going to Amoonguss here is the smartest option, because even if I went in the Camerupt, like I have to deal with any number of those things happening anyway. This lessens the chances that I actually have to deal with one of those. So Charizard Strat's gonna activate. Let us see. Rage Powder. Flamethrower. Okay, so I need Tapu Lele to stay asleep here. If it does wake up, I'm in trouble. Actually, is it guaranteed to? Oh, Psychic. Nice. I'll take that. We take those. And we'll get Trick Room up. Nice. Okay. Okay. So we'll go into Camerupt right here. Tapu Lele might protect, and Charizard might try to go for Flamethrower here. I kind of just want to Heat Wave protect, to be honest. Although Nature's Power I think is fine here. I could also just Heat Wave, because Heat Wave is going to guarantee 2 a KO the Charizard as well as the Tapu Lele. So you know what, Heat Wave is fine. Although if Tapu Lele protects and Charizard does go for an attack, I'm kind of upset at myself that I didn't go for Nature's Power read, because Nature's Power read might have just sealed up the game completely. We'll see here. Because I also don't have to risk hitting 2 Heat Waves onto Charizard. Okay. So close. But this is still fine of a play for me. As long as I hit. Nice. 50. Oh. less, but I can still Side Shock. Heat Wave's gonna come out from the opposing Charizard. Not gonna really do too much. Yeah. So I'll just Side Shock and Heat Wave here. I should have Nature's Power because that would have got me so much momentum here. Oh well. My opponent can't switch anyway, so Side Shock and Heat Wave are a safe play no matter what. And I think Heat Wave and Sun should knock out Tapu Lele. I really think it should. If it doesn't, I mean, I don't think Tapu Lele can knock out either my Camerupt or my Gothitelle at the range they're at, so I think this is fine. Tapu Lele gonna go for the double, does get it, but I did go for the attack into the Charizard, so as long as I hit one Heat Wave, I think we should be good. Nice. Then I get Side Shock into Charizard. So this game's not over by far. Depends on my opponent's last Pokemon. However, Helping Hand Heat Wave in the Sun with the Sheer Force boost looks so strong right now against anything my opponent could bring out. Terrain disappears from the battlefield. Okay. What's my opponent's last Pokemon? Landorus? Cresselia. Okay. That is a Pokemon that looks like I can win against. Helping Hand. As long as I don't miss. Maybe I should have Earth Powered. But I want to get as much damage onto Cresselia as possible. Because if it's Calm Mind, I still struggle against it. So Heat Wave is always my play here. Always. Nice. Heat Wave connects. Knocks out the Tapu Lele. Look at all that damage to Cresselia. I'm so mad that doesn't pick up the KO. But still, that's a lot of damage. Cresselia going to eat a berry 50% or citrus? 50%. Calm Mind? No, just Psychic, okay. Gets a special defense drop, so now Psychic is a 2-hit KO guaranteed, so this could get tricky, especially if this Cresselia carries Moonlight. Then again, this is single target Helping Hand Heat Wave, so if I do connect one and this doesn't have Protect, I do win the game. So come on Camerupt. I know I've been asking a lot of you, but come on. Nice. So Heat Wave gonna come out, knock out the Cresselia, and Mega Camerupt pulling in clutch, getting the KOs I need on the Tapu Lele, the Charizard, and the Cresselia in the end there. And that will wrap up today's episode of VGC 2018 Back Battles. I do hope everyone has enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like down below to show your support for the series. If you want to try out the Camerupt team, you can try it out on Showdown with the pastebin I have provided down below in the description, as well as you can check out previous episodes of VGC 2018 Back Battles. If you have missed them, you can also check out the playlist down below. You can also check out my social medias, and that's pretty much all I really have to say. Well, other than this, feel free to recommend this video to a friend or anyone who would enjoy this kind of content, as well as feel free to leave a comment down below, because I do try to answer them. And I do read them. I do read comments. I do read your suggestions. And feel free to leave like suggestions, criticisms, other things. I always love feedback on how I can make this episode or series or anything on my channel basically grow to the audience's whim. But otherwise, thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day, people. I do really appreciate all of you for watching VGC 2018 Back Battles. And I'll catch you around in the next episode.